I was single, I was 24 and the dating pool was everyone. And now it's like a shallow puddle of age-appropriate men who are old and gross, and I don't want to do that.
I'm 31 with no kids. How long do I sit and be like, oh, it'll come?
Did you know that 78% of men don't approach women anymore? Here's why that's your advantage. Fear of rejection, fear of looking desperate or awkward, which means if you're the one guy who walks up, introduces himself, and can hold a conversation, you're not competing with anyone. So no, hot girls are not used to being approached. In fact, they are waiting on it. Comment approach for my comprehensive guide on how to master the cold approach like a natural.
Do men ever approach you and say, hey, how's it going?
I actually went on a date with someone who approached me one time. He was just riding on a bike, actually, like up here, and I was just walking. And then he was like looking back, and I was like, oh my God, he's gonna come up to me. I was like, he's kind of cute. He's gonna go up to me. And then he came up to me. If you approach someone in the right way, it can be quite charming.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny. Sometimes I'm like in the mood for just like a 2-minute chat or like even a 1-minute chat.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'll just straight up say, like, I'm not in the mental state to be having this conversation right now, and I'm gonna go that way.
Women are saying men don't even glance at them in public anymore in 2026. But let me be honest, most of the time it's not you're ugly. It's men going low risk in a high drama world.
You'd ask me what my life would look like at 30, I don't think I would have imagined this. And that's not to say there's anything wrong with being single in your 30s. I was in an 8-year relationship, so I just hadn't imagined that I was going to be single again.
Okay, I was just humbled, the most I've ever been humbled. I'm at Home Depot, and you know how all the girls do that little trend where they're like, just walk around Home Depot and pretend like you're lost to find your next guy. Literally, nobody helped me or even like approached me. I was there for an hour, and I was just like kind of walking around. I had some stuff I actually had to pick up, but like, that's embarrassing for me.
What's more intimate to you, eye contact or touch?
Oh, far out. I didn't know we were going down this path. It's probably touch. Yeah, I guess that's pretty intimate, but there's a lot of information you can pick up from eye contact as well, yeah. But I'd say touch, yeah. That's a nice warm-up question.
Yeah. Why do you think men have stopped approaching women in real life?
I don't know. I think maybe social media has something to do with that. I mean, it's really too easy these days. It's a bit of a coward's world to just slide into someone's DMs. I think it's become a norm over time. And the sad thing about that is that I feel from the men's perspective that I reckon a lot of women, almost from where we're coming from, almost feel like it's a preferable mode of contact because they can just ghost you if they don't want to talk to you.
Damn you, social media. When a woman is, say, chasing you and messaging you and sliding into your DMs, how does that make you feel versus you doing the pursuing?
It's a tricky question. It depends about how it's all playing out. You're always like chuffed if someone's messaging you in your DMs. It's always cool and you enjoy that. You get a bit of a dopamine hit from it and it's fun. But I don't know, I'm an old school person and I feel like there's a lot of integrity in just fronting someone face to face. I feel like there's a way more bigger deal in having a face to face interaction and going, wow, that was a good feedback and I think that went well, rather than just doing an easy, the old backdoor into the DMs and whatever.
Thank you so much.
Right here is the first reason. Men don't know what's welcome anymore. A glance used to be normal. Now it can be treated like a violation.
And the thing I hear most from women when they're in a social situation is, I'm out, I'm single, I'm ready to mingle, I look amazing, and no men approach me ever. They don't even try. They don't even come up to me. And so men have gotten a lot of mixed signals around, the reality is the difference between a romantic moment and a creepy moment is the perceived attractiveness of the person who initiates it.
Yep.
And men don't want to be that guy.
All right, y'all. Here's a question. Why men don't approach women anymore? Glad you asked. Let's get into it, family. Happy Saturday, everybody. Number 1, the fear of rejection. Women today, as we know, have some unrealistic standards. Some women. Unless he has a 6-pack, 6-figure, and is 6 feet, you can't talk to him. Number 2, it's not just about the fear of rejection. For some men, it's the fear of being labeled a creep or a predator because the man that's approaching you isn't your type. So because he's interested in you, he a creep? Come on now. Number 3, online dating, which has made it so men don't have to get rejected. in person. Number 4, social media. Now you can just run up in somebody's DM. You don't have to have communication skills. I think all this technology and everything has made our communication skills terrible, y'all. Terrible. And last, we've seen how women will reject men in unnecessarily rude ways. It's okay to not be interested, to try to embarrass them. Y'all, we gotta stop.
And once you've seen a dude get publicly embarrassed for trying to be social, you learn fast. The safest move is to act like you didn't see anybody.
I want any woman who feels like they're the ugly friend in the friend group to reframe the way she sees herself. Just because men don't approach you in public doesn't mean you're the ugly friend in the friend group. What it means is that they don't view you as accessible. Men can sense boundaries from a mile away. They know which friend in the friend group will go home with them that night and the ones who will make them work for it. Nothing wrong with the women who go home at the same night. I actually applaud that. Do you, boo? I'm just giving this context for the women who don't understand why they don't get approached as much in public. There's only 2 reasons men approach women. They either want something easy for pleasure or they're looking for a relationship. And when a man wants easy pleasure, he's gonna scan the friend group and decide which one fits that description. Men associate pleasure with the way a woman is shaped, not the way her face looks. And men love a big butt. The BBL aesthetic, natural, it doesn't matter. The bigger, the better. If you're friends with women who have the body type that men equate with pleasure, i.e. the BBL aesthetic, you will not get approached the same way they do when you're out together. But that's actually a good thing.
So tell me why I got a Publix on my lunch or whatever. So this guy here approaches me. He's like, oh my gosh, you're very beautiful. What's your name? And I'm like, thank you. I'm Mercedes. He's like, are you single? Are you sick? And I was like, no, I'm single. He was like, do you mind if I get your number? I'll like take you out sometime. And I was like, I appreciate that, but I'm not really in a headspace that I can just walk off.
I was having a conversation with one of my girlfriends the other day, and she was telling me how she has a male friend who she's interested in romantically. And I said, have you said anything to him? And she was like, no. And I said, why not? And she said, well, he should get my hints. And I said, hints? What hints? She's like, I mean, the way I act around him and all this stuff. And I was like, the way you act around him? Like, what do you mean? And she's like, he should see that I like him. And I was just like, so why don't you just tell him that you like him? And she's like, well, I don't do that. I don't chase men. And I was like, like chasing men and letting a man know that you're interested in him are 2 different things. Chasing a man is once he knows that you like him and he's still not giving you any type of time of day or whatever. He kind of has you just kind of lingering over here. Letting a man know, and I don't necessarily mean like, hey, I like you, but giving him some subtle hints at least to let him know that you like him is 2 totally different things. And I was like, so how do you think he's going to know that you like him if you never say anything? She's like, well, he's going to have to figure it out. And I had to tell her, like, in this day and time, men are not approaching women, which is really weird to me. But I had to sit back and think, like, why aren't men approaching women? And I've come up with the thought of maybe it has to do with COVID and the Me Too movement. COVID, we were in the house for a year and a half by ourselves. And so we've just kind of learned how to, 1, be by ourselves. And 2, the Me Too movement, let me tell you something. If you talk or get with the wrong woman, they can ruin your whole life. I mean, just look at Shannon Sharp. He just lost his job at ESPN because he wanted some little young OnlyFans model who he was in a relationship with, but then turned around and said, oh yeah, you sexually assaulted me, you raped me, the R word and all these other things. And it's just like, what?
Some women want old school pursuit, but they also want don't approach me in public. Those 2 messages collide and men respond by opting out.
Why am I single? That's the question that I get asked all the time. It's my favorite. And bitch, I don't know. If I knew, I would be fixing it. I don't know. My therapist doesn't know. My friends don't know. I'm a lot of fun. And maybe guys just look at me as fun. And then when we get to date 4 or 5, they go, oh shit, she's got like layers and ooh, no, none for me, thanks. Ooh, and then they push me away. I used to have a really good job. My therapist said that might have intimidated dudes. But guess what? Now I don't. I'm like a wounded little bird and like I need help. Tired of being single? Well, maybe you should lower your standards a little bit.
From your vantage point, why aren't men chasing and approaching women to the same degree?
Well, it's their behavior. It's the behavior, the attitude, the entitlements, the expectations, the expectations that they have from men these days for relationships is ridiculous in my opinion. what you expect from a man. The approach, men are probably one of the reasons they're probably scared to approach because of the attitudes that how they might, nobody wants to be, it's one thing in my opinion to be, what's the word I'm looking for? Rejected, but it's how, and a lot of these women are just entitled. They think that they're better than average men. And so if a man, an average man see a woman that he thinks is attractive, he don't know, he doesn't know what he's going to be met with. She could be like, ew, get away from me. Oh my God. Why you they think that they're too cool for school. Like you can't approach them. If you do, it's like, if they don't like you, it's like, they treat you like you're something ill, something nasty. Like, so if I was a man, I wouldn't approach either. The entitlements, the things that they're asking for, you got to make 6 figures. You got to pay their rent just to take them on a date. Like who in the hell is doing that?
Guys aren't even thinking romance half the time. They're thinking, I'm not trying to go viral for the wrong reason.
I think it is. I think it's very normal.
Well, let's say you're asking me on a date. What would you tell me?
You got some beautiful eyes.
Aww.
You look like you Filipino. I'll probably say, I don't know, it's something.
It's something? Okay.
Yeah, something like that. I like your dress. Like, I comment on the dress or whatever it is.
Why do you think some men are afraid to ask women on a date in person?
I think social media has made it harder for men to approach women because, or it could be the face. Maybe like a lot of women look like they don't want to be bothered.
Okay, so let's say hypothetically, you saw this woman and you wanted to date her, but you found out that she wants you to sing her a love song at night outside her bedroom window. Would you think she's weird? And
hell no, I would not think she's weird.
That wouldn't creep you out? Like, lady, we're just dating. Why are you wanting me to?
Nah, I mean, I would feel like she's very interesting. So it feels like a challenge. It feels like I have to do this thing in order to get her. It's more of a challenge, which that's what we like. I feel like men like challenges.
Do men just approach you and ask you out on a date?
I would say yeah.
Okay. Is that a normal thing here in America? Are men just that bold?
Yeah. I think they are.
Okay, how often do you say yes?
I don't think I have.
Why not?
I don't know, not the right setting.
Oh, okay, so where's the right setting though?
That's a good question, because I don't know. I just feel like I was too fault to know. It's been like at the gym.
Okay. But what about if the guy was cute? Would you say yes?
Maybe.
What if he's not?
Then no.
No? So it depends on how cute the guy is?
Yeah.
What about compliments and flowers and chocolates? Are you into that?
That's too much. Yeah,
That's too much? How about serenading?
No. I'm a simple.
Do you walk up to a woman and ask her out on a date, personally? Is that a thing here?
I've never personally approached a woman and asked her on a date. I wouldn't go up to a woman in a social setting.
Why not?
publicly.
Why not?
I'm just not an outgoing person like that.
So how about this, hypothetically? Let's say the woman you want to date, you're into her.
Okay.
You found out that she wanted you to come over to her house, meet her parents, and write songs for her. Would you do it, or will you just say no and you're gonna slowly back out and I'm sorry, sayonara, see you later?
I think if it was the right girl in my mind, she checked off the boxes, I think I would do whatever was necessary.
Really? Even doing her plumbing in her house?
Yeah, I think that's part of it.
Okay. Yeah, plumbing is very important. You have to take care of that.
We need to go back to men moving to girls in real life. When you're moving to a girl on the street, it's off the dome. You have to flow with it. And then obviously she might hit you with a spanner and you have to, you gotta think on your feet, baby. Now you get to sit down and think, oh, what should I say? You can even ask for advice. Bro, how do I chat to this girl? So in terms of that on your feet game, they ain't got it like that, yo. They ain't got the flavor like that, yo.
And also, you have to remember, when it's online, you can start speaking to a girl at 6 o'clock, take a break, go somewhere else. When you're talking to a girl on the street, you ain't got that.
You're a door salesman.
It's there and then.
Show me what you got. Sell me this pen. Sell me this pen. You got 5 minutes. My bus is in 5 minutes. Sell me this pen. You had to perform. Nowadays, it's like, okay, cool. I will text her back in 2 hours. Then you'll now do 2-hour reply. Then she'll do 4-hour reply. A guy hasn't made me giggle in 5 minutes in a while. You know, there was back in the day when you talk to someone and be like, Like within 5 minutes, like, you went from sorry, I got a man to it's not like that anymore. The game has changed, the game is rigged.
Look at the energy. Public spaces are task mode now. People are tired, overstimulated, headphones in. That movie moment isn't the default anymore.
It bothers me because there's a reason why young men and men in general, to our earlier point, are not coming up and approaching women. They're not actively looking to date. It's because of things like this. And I actually posted about this on my own Instagram, and the number of men in the comments when asked why they don't approach women or why they're not even trying to date is, I don't want to be the butt of a joke on social media. I don't want to be made fun of. I don't want to be mocked. I'd rather just live my own life and stay to myself. So these kind of apps, they're not helping. To all the young women out there that want to find a man, going on apps like this to read just smut about other people, it's not helping your case.
Imagine being a 38-year-old woman and you've built an amazing life for yourself. You can go to fancy dinners, you can take amazing trips with your friends, stay in the best hotels, post about your life and your dating experiences on TikTok. People in the comments suggest try to find someone that is doing less than you. Women have it 10 times harder than men. Why would I date a man that wasn't able to build a similar lifestyle? And all the comments, oh my God, you're gonna die alone, you're gonna be single forever. I would rather be single forever than settle for a life that's less than the life.
And for men, the downside is bigger than the upside. If he's wrong, he's creepy. If he does nothing, he's just invisible.
What are the benefits of having a wife in today's society? Why are 80% of divorces initiated by women? How come women don't want to be wives anymore?
So since y'all keep throwing this around on the internet, we're going to go ahead and we're going to talk about it for real. I'm not pulling no punches. I'm going to shoot straight from the hip. I'm going to tell you the truth. It's not that we don't want to be wives anymore. Marriage was always the goal. It's that we want to be husbands. That's right. We want to be husbands. You want to know why? Because husband privileges are less.
Another thing nobody admits, a lot of men got rejected harshly in their early 20s. They don't keep paying that rejection tax forever.
The beautiful thing about being single and 30 is that if you are out there seeking your person and that is like something that you want in your life, you can fall in love tomorrow. You never know when you're going to run into your person, and these could be the last moments that you're having single. And these could be the last moments that you have alone, where you get to be selfish and be in your apartment and only think about yourself and spend all your money on yourself, because your life can change in a blink of an eye. Because I think that when you're 30 and you're single and you do find your person, if that's what you're seeking, it will happen very quickly.
Men still notice. They just don't show it. Because showing interest without a green light feels like stepping into traffic.
My ex straight up told me, I do not see myself falling in love with you. I have fallen in love with my first ex. She was my ideal type. Listen to this, it gets worse. She was my ideal type. When I saw her, it was love at first sight. It was just magnetic. And then my second ex, I really wasn't that attracted to her that much, but I was in love with her. There was just this feeling. But with you, you're beautiful. You are beautiful, but there's just that feeling just not there. When they say these men humble you, when you are out of their league, they still find a way to humble you. Just know there are no lies. There are no lies.
This is the new rule. Men don't want to be somebody's content. They don't want their face, voice, or approach clipped and posted.
Today is my 32nd birthday. And it's mad, right? When I was at school, I was like, when I'm 32, I'm going to have a house, a gorgeous husband, 3 kids and a dog. I'm currently at my parents' house right now. Dog died a couple of months ago, but I don't want to talk about it. I've just moved back from living in Australia for the last 7 years. I feel like I don't know what I'm doing with my life. I want a career change. I'm driving my mum's car because I don't actually even have a car right now. I don't have any kids. In fact, I don't even have a boyfriend. Do whatever you want. This isn't what I thought 32 would look like. I'm not sitting here crying about it. I'm actually really glad that I've made these decisions because I get to do what I want, and then I'll have kids and a family someday.
And when the reward feels uncertain, people stop playing. That's not misogyny. That's basic human behavior.
So this was highly requested. One of my videos just went semi-viral and there was a lot of triggering emotions. So a lot of people were really concerned about my age and me being single. So I'm here to break it down. I'm a business owner, and I feel like that's a huge reason why I don't date. I am consumed with my work because I love what I do and it's super fulfilling. What my days look like is I wake up, go to the gym, then I drink my coffee for like an hour, check emails, go to work, and then I go home and I go to bed for my laptop before I go to bed. It's a boring life to some people. I'm not out at the bars or the clubs or the concerts. I'm not doing that anymore. I did that. And it's not fulfilling for me. It's not fun. So I took 2 years off to be single just so I can heal my trauma. If you had a happy-go-lucky childhood, that's totally fine. You may not have to do this. But I needed to heal some trauma so that I can be my highest version to give that to my partner. And I advise some people do the same. I can tell you right now, I have never been happier in my life. Not saying I don't want a man, just saying that I'm super freaking happy.
Approaching is a skill, sure, but the social penalty got higher. So men are switching from cold approach to mutual vibe check.
29. I've just moved back in with my parents. I've just come out of a 2-year relationship to someone that I thought I was going to get married and have kids with. Circumstances meant that I had to move out of the apartment pretty quick, and I was in love with my apartment and I was in love with where I was living. I was living like a street back from the beach. This was something that I'd manifested. This is something that I'd wanted for so long, and now I'm in suburbia, nowhere near a beach, nowhere near my friends. I'm driving like an hour and a half every day, every couple of days to go and see them and just like try and keep some normality in my life. Everything has just suddenly changed. My ex and I were supposed to travel Europe this year. We had plans to travel. We had plans. Our word for the New Year's. We broke up shortly after New Year's. Our word for the year was fun. I was meant to be having fun this year, guys.
Even when people talk about it calmly, the takeaway is the same. If boundaries are unclear, most men pick the option that can't get them in trouble, doing nothing.
So I recently asked men, actually quite a few posts back, why they do not approach women anymore. And sisters, they got in them comments, about 400 comments. And we getting ready to start. Number one, I'm going to try to get through this as quickly as possible. I might have to do a part 2. Y'all are looking for studs? Y'all are not polite. Sisters, y'all not polite. Me Too and feminism. Apparently, they are afraid of being accused of SA. Everyone looks the same. No one stands out or is original. The system, social media has destroyed y'all. Y'all are not safe. Okay. Y'all said y'all prefer a bear. Now we're gonna have to expound on that because apparently there was a poll that says where women asked who they feel safe around, they said men or a bear. Y'all chose a bear. The men are salty about that. Part 2. So yeah, about the bear situation, I'm choosing a man because I'm definitely afraid of bears, grizzlies to be exact. But let's get back into it. You have to pay for conversation. Y'all are not approachable. Ladies, y'all don't be approachable. Too transactional, only wanting money. Always begging. Y'all be out here begging these men. No. Yeah, I know, sis. Too much attitude. Most act like escorts. Y'all put y'all dates on social media and make men look like creeps. They do not like that when y'all post y'all videos about y'all dates. They are afraid of that you will get on social media and talk about them. Too masculine. Always looking for a man to pay their bills. Men are valuing themselves over y'all. Not worth it. No peace.
Working in nightclubs for, 20 plus years, I used to see guys get rejected time and time again. And I'm just like, man, I never want to be that guy, And I also the privilege where I, obviously being in a place of authority with ownership, I was introduced to a lot of women. The truth is I was very shy and actually didn't know how to go and approach and just talk to women because one, I didn't want to be rejected like those other guys. And then I didn't want to offend. I didn't want to impose. But you got to be able to read and gauge as to whether or not this woman is interested in speaking to you or not. And for all the women watching, this is very important. If you see a man and you think he's interesting, you think he's good looking, and you would like to possibly speak to him, if he approaches you, or if he looks at you, look back. Like, let there be some engagement. It doesn't have to be that you're fully throwing yourself at him, but a man is already questioning whether or not you want him to speak to you, that if he comes to you, he's going to get rejected. Just a little look back, maybe a little smile, at least lets him know, okay, I can go talk to her. Women are so guarded, so protective that they don't want to give that little bit. And there has to be some give on either part. Men need to come at it with a playful energy, not trying to get somewhere. And women just need to be receptive. And even if you don't think the guy's interesting, even if he's not attractive, just be nice to him, because you being nice to him gives him the confidence to go and speak to another woman sometime. Now, of course, if the guy's being a total creep and he's just like, bad energy, you could also let him know, hey, look, I appreciate you come say hello, but I feel your energy's a little off and I just, I'd prefer some space. That man's going to walk away having learned something about what he could have done different.
I've seen some videos on TikTok about men no longer approaching women. And what did you lot think was going to happen? There's a lot of things that I feel like people ignore when they talk about this, because like when I was younger, when I was a teenager, going up to girls was like a fun thing to do, like there was times, I'll go shopping centre, Bromley Glades, for the South London people, South East London people, I might go Glades or Lewisham shopping centre, and like I'll be with a man then, I'll just move into girls all day. Obviously with teenagers it's different, but like our whole day was just like, let's go out and talk to girls. Like that was our day. Then you get a bit older and you start going to the little under 18 parties and stuff, and you're gonna talk to girls. Like I had a friend, I used to play football with him, and he was prolific. He would just see a girl, talk to her instant. He had like the utmost confidence. Now the dynamic has changed a lot. There's more social media. When I was young, there weren't really social media. We had like Blackberries, MSN. So now there's social media. Now girls are videoing men as they move to them and then embarrassing them on TikTok and Instagram or whatever. Like, and also there's also been the era of like, a lot of women don't want to be approached, or they don't want to be spoken to. So I think a lot of men are just taking the signs. Okay, I think they're just clocking out. They're just like, I ain't gonna do it. Now, in my opinion, there is a particular way that you approach a woman. You got to read the signs. You got to kind of know what's going on. You got to see what's happening before you just run up to a girl and start chit chatting. You got to see, are there any cues? Are there any signals? Is she throwing any signals at you? You're not just gonna run up to a girl randomly out of nowhere. But I don't think anyone should complain. This is the environment that we created as a society, as a group, where men no longer feel like they should approach women, and they can safely approach women without, I guess, being considered to be a certain type of way. And it is all about how you approach, of course, but I think we all created this. When I say we, I don't include me in that, but I'm saying we as in you guys.
You can talk it good, how you wish it would be all the time. 'Cause I've packed my bags in the middle of the night 1,000 times. I got up to say goodbye. I could be wrong, but I think they're for real this time.
Half of you are going to say I'm dumb for saying this, but walking up to a girl in public and asking for her phone number is like breaking into the Louvre Museum. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just saying the margin for error is criminal. You get one chance, and if you trip one of her biological laser systems, it's over. She doesn't even reject you. She just looks at you with pity, like you're a raccoon trying to learn Spanish. And women go online and they ask, why don't men approach us anymore? Ma'am, that's like standing outside the Louvre and asking, why doesn't anyone rob this place anymore? There are cameras, there's guards, there's consequences. Men are not shy. Our male brains are just doing cost-benefit analysis, and we decided that prison isn't that romantic.
Why men like me do not approach women in public, even if we find them attractive. There's 3 things that runs through a guy's mind before they approach a girl.
And here are the 3 reasons he said. Number 1, not knowing what to say. Number 2, knowing when the perfect time to interject or interrupt whatever she's doing. And number 3, he's doubting the attraction, as in he's like, is she into me like I'm into her? Let's go through these step by step. So the first thing he said is not knowing what to say. Then he said this, it's not that I don't know what to say, but it's like, how do I say it? I don't want to be weird. I don't want to be creepy. I want to say it in a smooth way. And you see, that's the problem you guys have. You guys are trying to think of the best thing to say. No, just say something. Is she holding a coffee? Ask her what drink is it. Is she shopping in a mall? Ask her what she's shopping for. Guys, just find context of the situation you guys are both in and bring that up. And if that's too difficult, what's wrong with, hey, excuse me, what's your name? It's simple as that. You guys want to say the right thing so bad, you want to be smooth so bad, you end up saying nothing. The second point was interrupting. Let's say this girl's working out. Let's say this girl's going for a walk. Like, you feel weird interrupting what she's doing so you can speak to her. This all goes back to arrogance. I think what I want is more important than what she's doing. She could be on her phone with AirPods in while walking her dog, and I still will approach her. In this game, you may never get a perfect opportunity, so you're going to have to put your agenda over everything. And the final part was doubting the attraction. Look, it's completely normal, but here's how I see it. I know who likes me. I know when I see a Latina, a Middle Eastern girl, a black girl, 9 times out of 10, they date black men. So I know who likes me. I know my target demographic. So when I approach them, it makes it a lot easier. If you're a guy watching this video and you're unable to get matches on dating apps, you're not able to approach women, and your dating life is super boring and mundane, I personally want to help you. Just watch the video in my bio, and I'll be talking to you soon.
So if you feel invisible in public in 2026, it's not always your looks, it's the environment. If you want that energy back, make the signal low risk. Eye contact, a small smile, open posture. Give a green light so a decent guy can move without fear.